Hello, y'all. Welcome to Jackalope Tales, Urban Legends and Music, where we uncover, is it real or is it a jackalope tale? I'm your host, Charles Mooney.
And I'm Lisa Umbarger. And Charles and I were co-founding members of the Toadies, and now we're podcasting.
And today we're talking about the ladies.
Yeah, the mamas.
I know. Yeah, it sounds bad to say ladies, but in that way.
We're coming up on Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day is right around the corner, so we thought we'd honor them the jackalope way.
Right. I think last time we talked about the good moms. Did we talk about the good moms? Have we done that?
I don't know if we talked, because that's so not us.
We probably didn't.
No, we probably put a negative spin on it, which is the right thing to do.
Or it was the mothers with a U, the mothers. I don't know.
I can't remember, but
yeah. So we're gonna talk about some moms.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about Justin Bieber's mom.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the mom who inspired Suicidal Tendencies song Institutionalized.
See, yeah, we're not worried about the moms that packed lunches and kissed boo-boos.
Right.
We're talking about the ones that are like, ooh.
Cringe mom.
Yeah, there you go.
But everyone's got a mom. So,
Yeah.
And some moms are more cringe than others.
Oh, there are some cringe ones, definitely. So you had sent me something the other day about an interesting
conspiracy.
It was a conspiracy thing. It was kind of like Nostradamus, but a whole different
soft
format.
Drinks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was, of all things, Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew conspiracy. So I love conspiracy theories. Of course, we both do.
Mm-hmm.
Jackalope Tales. Of course, we like conspiracies.
Yeah, they're more fun.
So I had never heard this one, and it's been going on for a while.
They did mention quite a few, so it wasn't just like
okay.
But supposedly the flavor that Mountain Dew comes out with is an indicator of something to come.
Right. So every time the conspiracy is that every time they release a new flavor, a catastrophic event coincides within a few months of the release.
Yeah. And if I'm trying to remember, there was like the red fire one.
Yeah.
That had to do with the fires in Maui, wasn't it?
It was it's called Mountain Dew Maui Blast.
Yeah.
The Maui Blast was released in 2023, and 3 months after its release, the Maui fires happened.
See?
But it's 3 months. So let me just say this. With the way things are going now, there is a catastrophic event that happens every couple days. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
There's whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So they're saying that in 2023 it was the
Maui one.
Yeah, the Maui Blast.
Uh-huh.
And then the Mountain Dew Star Spangled Splash was released. And in the weeks leading up, right after, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
Yeah, which they pointed out he wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Right. So there's that.
Yeah,
connection.
So there's the incident with the bridge. And then last year, a new flavor, Pitch Black, was released.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had the biggest IT blackout of all time, that CrowdStrike incident.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah.
So that's a few of them. And then they just released one a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. And then the fucking Pope dies.
Oh.
I think it was called Vatican Punch or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the Mountain Dew Cardinal Soda. Cardinal Sin. I don't know. And but really they did just release another one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's almost.
And then the Pope dies?
I mean, who needs to worry about Nostradamus? It's all about, let's see what flavor they're coming out with.
But now I want to go back and see, what did Dr. Pepper predict?
Ooh.
Because they have like the cherry flavors and the cream sodas. And, like, what happened with that?
The clear Pepsi.
Right.
That
clear Pepsi.
Oh. That one should have shown the end of time.
Right. I was wondering, like, maybe we all died and we didn't know it.
Oh,
Clear Pepsi.
That was the
Gross.
most fucked up thing, too, to
Yeah.
drink a clear soda.
No, I don't want it.
No, it's too much of a mind screw.
No. Yeah. So, I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's so funny how we're always looking for conspiracy theory wherever.
Oh, to always find some kind of link.
Right.
But I mean, it's always cool to find one. But then when you can find where a bunch of them match up,
right,
it's like now you're taking that conspiracy to a whole nother
I know,
level.
right?
Oh.
But it is kind of interesting, the Star Spangled.
Yeah.
The names of the Star Spangled and the Maui Blast.
Mm-hmm.
And then something.
There were a couple other ones, too, that they mentioned.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I know. We're going to have to see what they come out with. And so we can plan ahead.
Pitch black and then a blackout.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is.
Mm-hmm. So
now I just convinced myself the Mountain Dew conspiracy.
And I was always just worried about how much caffeine they had, because when you're a kid, you're just like, I'm gonna drink a Dew and stay up all night. Yeah. So
I never liked Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't that.
like,
yeah, it's like I'll have a sip of it, but I don't want a whole bottle of it.
Right. If I want like a sugary, crazy colored caffeinated thing, I'm gonna go for like a Big Red.
Oh,
you remember those?
Oh yeah, I do. Man, see, now you're talking.
That was the only soda they had at my school when I was in middle school.
Oh, really?
And it's so weird. It had those, those machines that the cup dropped.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like a paper cup.
Yes.
And we had one of those machines in our cafeteria. It was a quarter, and the cup would drop, and you could get a Mountain Dew. I mean,
wow,
a Big Red.
See, and then they had the coffee machines that did that too.
Yeah,
that's cool as hell. And then you could get a pack of smokes,
right?
Pulling the lever.
Right. So we'd all be out in the courtyard in 6th grade with a Mountain. I mean, keep saying Mountain Dew, but with a Big Red, a paper cup,
big red, and a big red Marlboro. Yeah.
Lucky Strikes out there.
I knew you're always cool.
Right. Yeah. And we'd be talking about what bands were popular then. Olivia Newton-John, probably.
Oh.
Bee Gees. We were talking about the Bee Gees.
Yeah, we're talking the 70s.
Talking about going roller skating that weekend.
See? Fleetwood Mac.
Yep. Totally doing that.
Oh, man. Makes me want to get a Big Red and a pack of smokes.
Right. But that's where our moms intervened.
Yeah. Oh,
kind of like these artists, right?
You are
because
right.
Our moms didn't know we were doing that.
No, our moms were good moms.
My mom gave me a quarter. She knew I was drinking Big Red. I was never smoking. Oh my God, my parents would have beat the crap out of me.
You're not kidding. That
for the love of God. Oh man,
situation.
Did not ever want that. Oh my God. Seriously.
But yeah, so this episode, like I said, we're kind of talking about the negative aspect on moms, and it was pretty easy to come up with a couple.
There's so many negative aspects of moms.
Yep. I'm talking today about the woman who raised, that human roller coaster that is Justin Bieber.
Man, I feel sorry for this kid.
Oh God, you were telling me about him at Coachella.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of it. He's like tripping. I mean, he might weigh 70 pounds and just looking like shit. I mean,
I just feel really bad for him because it just looks like he's circling the toilet bowl.
Yeah. I mean, Mountain Dew should come out with like a Bieber blue. Because that's going to be his color if he keeps up that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. So his mom is Pattie Mallette. So she, let's start off by saying though, that of course, being a mom is hard. Of course, single mom, even harder.
Yeah.
I mean, good God.
Agreed.
Single mom trying to raise a kid while you're dealing with trauma, poverty, and your own demons, that's damn near impossible. And so these were kind of the things she was having to deal with early on. But Then again, most moms in the position she was in as he started getting big don't necessarily hand their 13-year-old kid over to P. Diddy for a weekend sleepover.
Yeah.
I know. Let that sink in for
So-
a second. 13.
Right. But you figure she was not much older.
No.
I mean, she was still a kid.
She had him, I think it was at 17 years old.
Yeah.
So, but I know, because you and I'm sure we're like, how the hell do you do that? I mean, there is no sense to it. But,
you know, if she didn't, my parents were still parenting me in college.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like, seriously,
yeah.
like still telling me, you know, hey, maybe you should do this. And still, you know, they were still voicing opinions, right?
Well, yeah, because we're still idiots in college.
Exactly.
I mean, now we look back and we're like, God, we were idiots.
Yeah. Oh, total. We just told a story before we got on mic about it being in Deep Ellum, and we were in college.
Yeah.
But I feel like she didn't have any guidance at all. So she might not have known. She was thinking, oh, these are adults and they're they're upstanding, I'm using air quotes, citizens, right?
Well, I'm going to be mentioning something here in a moment about what she was thinking too.
Okay, I want to know.
So Pattie Mallette, I mean, the mother of the baby-faced Canadian who would soon become one of the biggest pop stars on the planet, thought it was actually totally fine to let her son fly down to LA and hang out at the mansion of one of hip hop's most legendary party animals. Now, her defense, she said, and I'm quoting, that God told her to let Justin go. Yep, God. So, not sure.
Why are people
if lines were crossed?
People use God as an excuse for a lot of things, it seems.
Yeah. And it's just like as if if God said took a break from managing the cosmos and said, you know what, Patty, let's give little Justin a taste of Cristal and Lamborghinis and all this stuff. What's the worst that could happen? So I think we're seeing
butt rape.
The worst that could happen. Yeah. But now to kind of rewind the story a little bit about her, she did have him when she was 17. She had a rough go of it at the time. She was abused, on drugs, had depression. And I mean, to credit her, she did get clean. And she turned to religion. She tried to raise Justin the best she could, but somewhere along the line, she must have confused raising with promoting.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, because by the time Justin was 12, she was uploading his videos on YouTube, like just hoping someone would stop by and say, hey, kid, want to be a star? You know, kind of that approach. And when Scooter Braun did, the one that got him, she didn't even hesitate. So it was like things were working out the way she envisioned.
Right.
She shipped him off to LA, and don't get me wrong, that move made Justin Bieber a household name, but it also made him a cautionary tale. So
did he have any, did she go with him?
And I think there were times where she would go, but it wasn't consistent because she felt like here's his manager.
Oh God.
So here's little Justin barely hitting puberty, dropped off in a mansion, P. Diddy's mansion, where adults barely survive. And according to Justin himself, P. Diddy let him drive his Lamborghini. And I mean, here he is at 15. And it wasn't just a one-time lapse in judgment for Patty. This was a pattern. Because when Justin started blowing up, Patty started losing control, but only when it was convenient. She'd say, oh, I'm worried about his soul, while cashing his checks. She wrote books about her life, about her struggles, and about him. She turned his meltdowns into teachable moments for her audience, not for him. So it was kind of like turning to the religious aspect. But then, of course, I mean, you got to remember then Justin was getting arrested for drag racing in Miami.
Right.
Or when he egged his neighbor's house and caused $20,000 in damage. Or the time he peed in a janitor's bucket and flipped off a photo of Bill Clinton. So that was really kind of examples of the fallout of a kid raised without a real parent, kind of just handlers.
Well, with the exception of the drag racing, all of those things we kind of did. I don't know about the $20,000 in damages.
I mean, what the hell are those eggs?
I mean, if you could pee in a bucket and flip people off, you would do it. And in fact, you might have. I don't know, but I would.
The only luxury we had is we couldn't film it, which they did.
Exactly. But egging houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Did that.
Yeah.
So it seems like, he's doing kid things.
Yeah.
But he's famous and he's getting caught.
And that's where you're put on a higher pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely scrutinized way more.
Yeah. Because when all of those things were going on, I was like, he's a kid.
Yeah.
And he's got money to buy a bunch of eggs.
I know you got to watch your spending on eggs nowadays.
We would just get yelled at for destroying breakfast.
Oh, and TPing a place.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, man. Right before the rain got there.
Yep.
Oh, shit. That was mean.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's being a kid and.
Yeah. I mean, but it's easy to blame the industry too. I mean, it's easy to say fame messes people up, and it does. But Pattie kind of opened the door, handed her son a suitcase, and said, "Go on now, make us rich." Yeah. So it's kind of that approach. And I mean, he made them rich, but look at the cost of it. So, but I'm not here to kind of roast Pattie just for the sake of it, but when you're a mom, your job isn't to chase the spotlight, it's to shield your kid from it.
Right.
And at least until they're strong enough to stand under it without burning alive. Because, I mean, that was the whole situation. He was too much of a kid.
Yeah.
And, I mean, think about what if we had started the toadies when we were 14. I mean, it was bad enough when
I was going to say. So the industry is not set up for anyone to survive, except the cockroaches, and the cockroaches are the management, the people on the other side, not the artists.
Yeah.
And whether you're an adult or a kid, it's set up to take advantage of you.
Oh, it is.
So I cannot imagine without having a strong influence for right and wrong or just, good influence at, strong influence that I can't imagine.
But can you really say that before we got into the music side of the whole business, did it kind of surprise you just how fucked up it all is? Or I mean, because you kind of envision all this crazy. You hear all the crazy stories about rock stars.
I thought it was exaggerated.
Yeah,
I really did. I thought the sex, drugs, and rock and roll was exaggerated, and you'd see stories, and I thought people were acting. And what happened is, I think that most of them actually were.
Yeah,
acting.
There was that part to it, right?
And then people got into music because they're like, I want that. And they thought you had to act like that. Right? To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because I saw a bunch of people who thought when you get to a certain level of success, that's what you have to be. The singer from Puddle of Mud is a really good example.
Yeah.
He was a normal, sweet guy when I knew him, and they get signed and he just cannot handle it. I don't know what happened. I don't want to, I don't want to.
I'm not speculate on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But, he became the epitome of sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah.
When he was absolutely not that beforehand. Yeah. Right.
But I think in this situation, I mean, I can see, of course, Pattie not having any idea what the music business is like, but that's where you don't just let your kid be taken over. by an industry.
I wish she, and she probably was told, and I can think of conversations that we have had with record companies and our management. They're like, just let me take care of this. I got it.
Yeah.
And you get so busy that you go, okay, yeah, if you could handle that, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you give up a little bit of control and a little bit more control. And they do that to you.
Yeah. Oh, those people that say, I'll handle the books for you.
Let me take care of this.
Yeah, you don't need to see what the expenses are.
Right. And so you give up more control, and you start, and the more control you give up, that it's harder to get it back in. And I'm guessing that they probably totally capitalized on her innocence.
Yeah. Naiveness, innocence, all that.
Yeah. Because obviously she's a young mom.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, you have a commodity and we're taking it.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, this is not just an isolated incident. You see this happen so much with the kid stars.
Right.
Where the parents just kind of, I guess, I don't know, the illusions of grandeur and all that stuff.
Right.
Did it really cause them to just kind of lose focus? I don't know.
I feel sorry for Justin and his mom.
I do. I mean, that's sadly, it's like, I would be curious if she would be willing to rewind everything. Does she really feel like she would want to and start over and be more protective? I don't know.
Was that really God that told you?
You got to be careful when you listen to him. All right. And what have you got?
So the first thing I thought of when I was talking about we started talking about moms and music.
Yeah.
Is that song Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies. So I have a little bit different entry point.
Oh, I have a lot of fond memories of that album.
Oh, it's such a good album.
That was one of those albums I listened to a lot, and I was afraid to go to one of their shows.
Oh, same.
Because it would have, I would have damaged my teeth. Something would have gone bad just from that whole angst and anger.
They have legendary stories about their pits. So, so not their armpits. Anyway, so Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies. So it's iconic and personal to me because it has a little punk rock sweet spot.
They were one of the bands. Yeah, their next albums got a little more metal, and I lost interest. But that one really did seem to bridge the punk and the metal, and all those different genres. Right. So
so it was released in 1983, and it was the band's debut single.
83,
right?
Holy hell!
83. Okay. And it's one of the earliest crossover thrash songs. It became an anthem for youth alienation and frustration. And for me, it's one of the best punk songs about a relationship with between a boy and his mom.
Yeah.
It kind of just gets that angst.
Yes.
So Institutionalized was written by Mike Muir, the band's frontman. Yeah. And it's delivered mostly entirely as a spoken word rant over fast, aggressive metal riffs. Mm-hmm. The song tells the story of a teenager who's going through some things, and people think he's crazy, even though he feels completely sane.
Yeah.
But at its core, the song is a story of misunderstanding and overreaction, especially from parents and authority figures. Mm-hmm. So Mike Muir's lyrics capture the frustration of being young and being misunderstood and dismissed by adults at best.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's rock and roll and punk right there.
So we're, besides his own experiences, what was the catalyst to write this song?
Yeah.
So Suicidal Tendencies had played a show. And there was a little kid that used to hang out at their shows all the time. He's 12.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're in punk rock, you hang out after the shows. There's no cell phones. You don't go and watch TV. It's late. You hang out and you shoot the shit. Mm-hmm. Hang out, maybe have some beers, whatever.
Yep.
So they were hanging out. This kid, who's a little punk rock kid, was always hanging around at the back door, and he was sharing the story with Mike. And he described his parents, teachers, and friends as having trouble understanding his transformation from a little preppy kid to a punk rock kid.
Ah, okay.
And he was dressing badly and sneaking out to see punk shows, as his parents would describe his actions. His family thought that the only reason he would change so drastically is he had to be on drugs. He wasn't. He was a straight edge kid.
Yeah.
He didn't drink. He didn't do drugs or anything. He just loved punk rock music and the punk rock, community. Because back then, and it's hard for anyone who did not grow up in it to even understand how tight community was in punk rock and even alternative music. There was a real deep community of musicians and fans, and
being one of them, it was like there's nothing at school for you. You're not a cheerleader, you're not a football player, you're not any of that stuff. This was like all the rejects that are sick of all that shit.
Right.
And you find
counterculture.
Yeah. There's common ground in your mental process. And it's like, God, you just click with everyone.
Yeah. You just can go and be free with these people. Just be
it was
different.
It was the best.
You can be different with other people who are being different with you.
Yes. Everyone's different.
Yeah. So, he kept denying the accusations of being on drugs. They didn't believe him. And his parents paid a lot of money for him to unwillingly be locked away in an institution that would, quote unquote, cure him.
Oh, God.
Of whatever this was he was going through, this phase. So when the kid was telling the story about his ongoing challenges with his mom, he also gave Mike the idea for this iconic song. Because he had this line that he ended his little story with. And he said, "All I wanted was a Pepsi. She wouldn't give it to me."
Oh, shit.
And Mike's like, that line was just like, it totally encapsulated everything that I was thinking of. And I had the idea for the song.
Greatest line.
Can you imagine that this little 12-year-old kid is like, all I wanted was a Pepsi and she wouldn't give it to me.
Oh my God. It does sound like that.
Yeah. And that's why it has that little bratty kind of sound to it, because it's a kid. It's a freaking little kid who was like, anyway.
That's cool as hell.
So this line in the song, the narrator's being accused of being mentally unstable, and he's just trying to explain himself in a world that won't listen and trying to get his mom to understand.
Yeah.
And out pops this line. So Mike sat there and listened to this kid, and this totally normal, sweet kid.
Yeah.
And this crazy song that represented a whole generation.
Oh, yeah.
Came from it. From this kid's mom not getting him a fucking Pepsi. Anyway, so
yes.
So, on the surface, it's all I wanted was a Pepsi seems kind of bratty, but it's basically summed up everything from our youth. Think about what was going on. The Reagan years, which I felt very oppressed.
Yeah.
Because 83 was Reagan, right? And he felt, and everything around here in Texas, they were enforcing curfews. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. I mean, that was the time of the PMRC also. They started putting labels on albums. Everything was starting to get restricted.
Yeah, everything was really restricted. We couldn't go out at night.
Yeah.
You had to be in by dusk. And so they were trying to keep kids from going to concerts. They were smashing our clubs.
Yeah.
They would go in and actually physically smash our clubs, go in with remember batons and stuff and smash them. Oh
God, yeah, because they were all blaming everything on drugs.
Right, they were saying that it was the punk rock kids that were creating crime, and most of the punk rock kids were middle class kids that were going to a show trying to figure out how to not be like their parents.
Yeah,
they didn't want to get sucked into the corporate bullshit.
Yeah,
and this song totally encapsulated that for me. And I remember my brother Eric and I would drive around in my old 72 Camaro, blasting this song, singing at the top of our lungs. He was like, yeah.
God, so good.
But that song for me, I think is probably my go-to song for that time of my life.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but that one's one that
early high school.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I put that one. Because I would have been probably a freshman in high school.
So it's late high school for me.
Yeah.
And it's just it described everything we were going through. And my brother would have been in middle school, maybe younger, but he totally related as well. He was trying to figure out what he was going to do.
Right.
And
thank God she didn't let him have a Pepsi.
I know, right?
Because if that had,
yeah. But I think about that kid and wonder what happened to him now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if Mike even followed up, or if he, got in touch with Mike and said, hey, I'm doing okay now. I figured it out. I'm hoping that he did.
Oh, that would be cool. Just to kind of have a reunion.
Right. I would love to, for that kid, kind of like, they had the Nirvana kid from the album cover.
Right.
Like, where is he now?
Yeah.
I would like to know, where is this kid now?
Oh, man. To be such a prominent figure in the history of punk.
Right. And it's so historic. Did you ever hear Body Count do the cover of this song?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is fucking great.
Oh, God. Yeah. That was cool as hell.
So
that
many
was another
bands.
bridge moment where rap and punk were all merging.
Yep. So that to me is the best punk rock mom song.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see why. It's just that angst.
Right.
And it was perfect for then.
Except for the other one I thought about was the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
When next time you see your mom, tell her Satan. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good feeling too. Because that one we'd blast in the car.
Oh my God.
And then it'd just be
yeah.
Oh,
sweat,
so good.
Sweat loaf.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can blast it in my Toyota. As I drive to work, doing the corporate shit, but they can't change my mind. Oh, man.
Moms. My mom was pretty forgiving of the punk rock stuff.
Yeah.
She did not like it.
Oh, yeah.
She wouldn't wash my punk rock shirts. They had to be
that was her way of showing her opinion. Oh, no.
I would find them behind the dryer.
And see, my parents knew I was good-hearted, and they didn't really worry anything about when I was going punk. So, because I'd still come home and be like, "Thanks, Mom. Thanks for the meatloaf."
Right. Same. I do remember my mom and dad sitting me down one time though and going, you got a good head on your shoulder. We're okay with you listening to punk rock, but we don't think you should let your brother listen to it with you. I don't think he can handle it.
Start influencing youth.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure their exact words were, Eric can't handle it, but you can. You're okay.
Yeah.
You had enough time to figure stuff out on your own. Your brother hasn't. And now look at him working for the DOJ.
I know. God, who would have thought? I know. He was I remember coming to pick you up for shows, and it was there he is with that long hair hanging over his face with a skateboard. But yeah, I mean, I had a huge poster like Gay Bikers on Acid, where it was this injured leg. And I mean, this was a big poster, and my parents never said anything.
But I'm guessing that when your mom was in the house by herself, she'd probably swing the door open to your bedroom and look at that,
throw clean sheets and leave quickly.
And just go, what is that? What is going on?
But it's cool they let us do it.
Right.
Yeah.
My parents were confused as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe that my parents gave me a Pepsi when I asked for it, and therefore I'm better.
Oh, yeah. My mom always made sure I had extra Pepsi to go with my Swiss cakes and all that stuff.
Your little Debbie snack
Yeah.
cakes.
Oh, yeah. Star Crunches.
Oh my God.
But speaking of moms and warm hugs, because
It's like a warm hug.
it really is.
You
It's
have
like
to-
a swirling warm.
You have to
with
hug
a
the
little
kazoo with your
vibration.
mouth.
To it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. The little tissue and a cone.
Yep.
Oh.
We're at the Lone Star Salute, people.
We are. We're going to be talking about some opinions.
Right. 1-star reviews of things that have to do with music
Mm-hmm.
that aren't as good as the 5-star. We're going for the 1-star.
Yeah. It's kind of like 1-star moms. Now we're talking about 1-star music.
Oh my
or
God.
whatever.
I didn't even think about that. I should have read some reviews of moms.
Oh my God. You can
I'm
come up
reviewing
with some
my mom
stuff.
right here. My mom sucks.
Yeah.
1 star.
Well, today I am talking about the book that Pattie wrote.
Oh no.
Nowhere But Up. The story of Justin Bieber's mom. That's the title. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh.
Okay.
Here she is going religious, writes a book, and still using him.
Yeah.
But this one is by Linda too. She titled the 1-star review, "Enough Already."
I agree.
Here we go again, questioning God for why her life is so messed up. Hello, she made choices.
Yeah. Yep.
In addition, she raised an apparently bratty son who has nothing better to do than urinate in mop buckets in a restroom instead of a urinal and tape himself doing it. Then he takes a swipe, curses, at a photo of President Clinton, only to call him later on the phone and profusely apologize about doing stupid things. There's the choices again. And she needs to take responsibility for her own actions. Instead of writing another book, maybe she should spend some time instilling manners in her out-of-control son. So, I mean, pretty cut and dry, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more issues than just that. But
Right. She didn't even really review the book. She reviewed the mom.
yeah, which made her say, well, and I think the problem though too is that it's under the religious umbrella.
Yeah.
And so that makes people really scrutinize it all the more.
So that makes me wonder if I wrote something and called it the Bible, could I do that?
I don't know. You might have to change it to Booble.
Right.
The
And
Bible.
sell it as the Bible. And
Right.
people would buy it.
Yeah.
And it'd be just like a bunch of stuff I came up with. My autobiography.
Yeah.
Did you write an autobiography? And I was like, yeah, it's called the Bible. It's right here.
Just make sure they attach that little ribbon so you can
Oh,
put it
yeah.
in between the pages.
And all of
And
my
then-
words are written in red. If it's quoted by me.
Yes.
Oh my
and-
God. I think you can do that.
wow.
Who's going to sue you? Jesus?
Right? I mean, it's kind of like Happy Birthday song. Yeah, everyone
Right.
can do it.
And if
now.
he does, right, I know exactly. And if Jesus did sue you,
Yeah.
that means that he came back and it's a win-win.
Oh,
Right?
There you go. It's like, hey,
Come back and sue me. It's
God,
like
here's
throw
your
down
time
the
to appear
gauntlet.
in court.
Right.
If you're not there, then
And then what does he swear on? Which Bible? My
Well-
Bible or his?
well, you swear on yours. He swears on his. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to write a Bible.
Okay.
I feel compelled to.
I mean, I really think you ought to.
I'm starting right now in my head.
And I'll do the drawings.
Okay. I go in the middle.
Yeah, the ones that have the tissue on top, so that.
Oh my God. So that's where you can masturbate into it and clean up afterwards. Those little tissue pages. Oh God.
One and done.
I'm going to hell. But before that, I'm going to read my Lone Star Salute.
Yeah, please do.
It's a Suicidal Tendencies. It's a review of their album, No Mercy Fool / the Suicidal Family.
Oh,
And this is by Christ,
okay.
not Christ.
Oh.
So he spells his name Chris with a capital S and T at the end, like Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh, Oh,
Chris.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Look at the creativity.
Yep. And Chris says, ST just doesn't get it. It's pretty clear that Mike Muir doesn't give a shit about us, true hardcore ST fans from the early days. This garbage about evolving and not wanting to go back to the old days is, in my opinion, an insult. Again, this is another album that if you're looking for early sounds of ST, you won't find in this album. Tons of bass, and Mike sounds the same in every song. ... Boring. Countless fans want widespread bloodshed. No Mercy put out on CD in their original sound, not this remastered crap. Save your money, buy a Pepsi, and listen to the old stuff.
Yeah.
Also, Mike's success has gotten him a big head. We need a new breed of Mike Muir to step forward. ST forever. He ends it with ST forever.
ST.
Let's go.
I mean, I do understand what he's talking about.
I totally do too.
I remember the excitement of knowing the second album was coming out because we were working in Sound Warehouse when the second one came out, and with just the whole impact of that first one.
Yeah.
It's like so ready. And then I just remember some buffed drawing of a guy like a metal militia kind of guy on the cover, and it's like, okay.
Do you remember what happened to the band in between albums?
No, I don't.
So that was the time, and my memory might not be serving me right, but I chalked it up to this. Remember, that was when the FBI was busting down doors of punk rock bands and pulling them out of their beds and beating them up and a record.
As soon as you started that, I remember.
And I remember Suicidal Tendencies almost broke up over this.
Yeah, because they were really under the radar. It really
scared them.
Yeah.
And so their next album just didn't bite the same.
It was just metal.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah, they totally changed what they were doing. Their stage act changed. And I think it was Jello Biafra that shared that story. What happened to him? He's like, everyone needs to ease up on these guys.
Damn.
It happened to us. We're older. We handled it. ST, they were pretty young.
Yeah.
When all this was going on. And they freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of them.
Just California punk kids.
Yep.
And then the FBI starts fucking with you.
Yeah. Breaks
I
down
changed my
your
music.
door.
Yeah.
Right. They break down your door and threaten you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ST didn't do anything threatening to Ronald Reagan.
No, I think though that of course, I mean the content on that first album, it's like suicide's an alternative and all this stuff. The messages were really dark, and that just scared the shit out of them.
And because they were so popular with the younger kids, they were like, let's put a stop to this shit. And they did.
Yeah. God.
And that I always chalk ST up to being one of the victims of all that shit that was going on that was oppressive at the time.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
Yeah. And I actually mourned for that band a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah.
To see them have to go that other route.
Yeah. And it made the dead Kennedys even more important to me.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Because I knew the same shit was happening to them. And they were being, windows were being smashed out. Their doors were being smashed down.
I know.
And flashlights shined in their face and drug out of their bed. And they kept going.
But that's a good point. They were older and they knew how to handle it. Like you said, suicidal tendencies were kids.
Right.
God.
So anyway, that's just my take on it.
FBI ruined our music of the day.
Right. That one song.
Who knows? Yeah. How many more bands changed because of that? I'd have to start thinking about it. There are probably quite a few.
Yeah. I'm guessing that there was because suicidal tendencies weren't the only ones.
No, the stuff was really edge and it just scared a shit ton of people back then.
I would think that more bands that were super uber punk, because suicidal tendencies, like I said, were immature kind of, I don't want to say that they're immature as humans in the
just
world.
natural immature.
But there were other people who were punk bands that were really actually kind of fucking thugs.
Yeah.
That I would think that if you did that to them, they would be it would have the opposite effect as it had on Suicidal
They would retaliate.
Tendencies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they would actually get more aggressive. I would say that Dead Kennedys got more aggressive with their lyrics after that, right?
They did.
Bedtime for Democracy.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Oh, they went right.
And that
for
was
the jugular.
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They did not back. Yeah, they put their foot on Reagan's throat and did not take it
fuck
off.
with Jello.
Man.
You just don't fuck with Jello.
And I think that's why Jello ran for mayor. Is that true? Is that right around that time?
It was actually in the 70s when they'd already put out their first album. So they were already kind of pushing the envelope. Okay. Holiday in Cambodia and all that stuff. So, but you're right. I think because of everything that happened and how he was oppressed, that was their reaction. And I love that.
So I wonder, did Reagan smash punk rock?
That's a good
Definitely
point.
Changed it.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that hadn't happened, what would happen? And are people afraid now? Did it create a little, even though we might not intentionally know it, but is there just in the little hind brain, don't do punk rock stuff because some shit could happen?
Well, but all the punkers are now middle-aged.
Yeah, but where's the new punks?
No,
we've been talking about it. Why aren't there new punks?
Oh, I know.
You could be punk on TikTok, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I guess it's counterculture to punk.
Yeah.
It really is kind of counterculture.
Although songs like WAP really scare me. So I don't know how to react to that. That's the new punk having a wet
I know, right? I want my punk rock coming back. And I want to be the old person in the audience watching these kids fucking play. Yeah. That's what I want.
I almost think people are scared to push the envelope now because everything is all internet, and in order to succeed, like a lot of young people do, they have to mold themselves into the status quo. And
what about a real underground punk rock movement that was vicious?
That's what's so needed.
Could you throw out a record and it not be traceable to you? Like a pretty biting record.
I don't know.
That grabs the nads of America.
Shit. That would be cool.
Come on, punkers. Let's do this. We need you so bad.
We need it. Everything's so vanilla.
All right. Oh, hey, speaking of vanilla, there's nothing more vanilla than a happy ending.
Oh, I know. That vanilla comes out. But yes, we've made it to the end of the episode.
Tres leches.
Oh.
It's milky.
3 times. That's impressive.
I know, right?
Man.
So let's recap. Justin Bieber.
Yep. With Pattie as the mom, this is all documented.
Right. Heavily documented.
And boy, is it documented. I mean, it's just like
over documented.
Oh, everything is out there.
And camera people follow them everywhere. Paparazzi follows them both mom and son.
Yeah, they capture the son at Coachella going on a trip of some sort.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
He can't stand and my pants are not falling quite all the way down. Anyway, mine, so it's really funny. I heard the story. I heard Mike tell this story about the kid a long time ago. And when I looked for it, I could not find it. So Mike no longer tells a story about this kid. But when I heard him talking about the song.
But I don't hear much from Mike anymore.
Yeah, he really doesn't say much.
No, but I love the story behind it. I want it to be true.
I do too.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I went back to confirm it, I could not find the story, even though I've heard Mike from his own mouth tell the story about this kid.
That's cool.
And the kid gave him the line about the Pepsi. So
yeah. Thank God the kid didn't want a sweet tea or something.
I know, right?
Pepsi is such a cool word.
Bahama Blast. But so it could be a jackalope.
Yeah.
I'm guessing no.
I don't want it to be. I love that story.
I'm guessing no, because I mean, think about it. It's this kid's story. They never did have another song like this one.
Yeah. It was
given to him written already.
But it's, I mean, songs like that, there's no way to write a bunch of them. There's one that just hits everything right. God, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it now.
Yeah, I did.
Fun as shit.
I did. Oh, it's so good. I love it still. It holds up. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate you. Be sure and follow all the links to our show notes and find us on all the socials.
Yeah, definitely. Like, subscribe, rate, leave us reviews on I was about to say Jackalope Tales. On Apple Podcasts.
Apple Music.
Yeah, Spotify, anywhere you listen to the podcast. Be sure to give us likes and provide support on YouTube. So
we're going to start doing some lives. We got some ideas. We got some big news coming up also. So we'll let everybody know. Good big news.
Well, we're so old. It's like, that's a great idea. It takes a lot of energy to do that.
So much energy.
We're good talkers.
Yeah, we are. Is this a talking thing? All right, I'm in.
Do I have to get off the couch?
Right. Yeah. Can I sit down? How long is it going to be?
Yeah. Is it going to interrupt my Judge Judy? You got to think about those things.
You have to always think about that.
Yeah. But if they support us out there, that's going to be kind of like the excitement to get it going.
It is. It is. Thanks again, and join us next time as we question, is it real or is it a jackalope tale?
Yeah. Appreciate your moms, unless they've been bad to you.
Good moms. Good moms only.
Appreciate good moms only.
Oh, is that a website?
I'm going to get in trouble if we're going to good moms only.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Don't go there.
I think I had a VHS tape of good moms only.
Oh, no.
Have to dig that one out. Yeah.
They have a lot of oven mitts that you can buy, like merch, aprons and oven mitts.
Warm to the touch. Oh, God. All right. Till next week.
Milk and cookies.
Yeah. Just milk.
MILF.
MILF. Oh.
But I couldn't go back as old as I am now because I would.
Then you'd just be.
Yeah, because I would say, I'm like, I don't want to go see Steel Pole Bathtub tonight. I am tired. But it's the last time Steel Pole Bathtub will ever play. Well, maybe I'll give my second win, but I don't know.
I can't commit. And how the hell did you pull up Steel Pole Bathtub?
I don't know.
That's great.